The NBA season is back. Week 1 just wrapped up last night. Week 2 on the way. And it's your boy Dame. Subscribe to Dame's World if you haven't. If you have, you already know what it is. We taking it to new levels starting today. And what I mean by that is we got new content. NBA Power Rankings, yes. Your boy is getting in the realm of doing Power Rankings 30-1, broken down. I got my little notes, I got my little shit ready. So we in for a doozy of an episode. And yes, it's Power Rankings week 1. Why? Because I ain't like these other networks. I ain't like these other niggas. I don't make the predictions before I see them. So I had to wait a week to give you guys my Power Rankings. Give you my also MVP watch, Rookie of the Year watch, and 6-man watch. So without further ado, this is the Power Rankings 30-1. Number 30, who do we got? We got the New York Knickerbockers. Dysfunctional, drama already with the Dennis Smith Jr. situation. And just a roster full of people that don't make a great fit for one another. Got like 3 power forwards and 3 point guards with no official center. So 30, Knicks take the cake. 29, Washington Wizards with John Wall out, with Bill being in talks of trade in a rebuilding mode. The Wizards just don't look good this year, and essentially you can rule them out of the playoffs as well as the Knickerbockers. 28, the Hornets, the Charlotte Hornets. They got Scary Terry, and they're in another rebuild mode, but right now they struggle with an identity. You got some of the old Hornets, and you got the new Hornets, and you don't have enough of a nucleus to contend at a high level. I like how they play hard, but they're not going to contend at a high level yet. So 28, you got the Hornets. 27, the Sacramento Kings. Now this team has depth, has young talent, Fox, Buddy Hield, and more good players, Bogdanovich, whatever his name is. They got a lot of talent. They just haven't clicked yet. So they had a tough start, so that's why they get the 27 spot. 26, the Golden State Warriors. They look terrible, and if it wasn't for them having Chef and Draymond, who haven't been looking good, they might have found themselves at an even lower spot. And again, these power rankings ain't predicated on last year. Nothing you did last year can get you here. So 26, I got the Warriors. 25, I got the Grizzlies. They play hard. They just don't have the talent with them right now as well. They got a rookie young sensation in Ja Morant, though. So they got some promise and some shit to look for. 25, Grizzlies. 24, Indiana Pacers. Oladipo still out. They haven't been looking that good aside from Sabonis and Miles Turner maybe, but they've been struggling out the gate with a slow start. I expect them to climb, but right now, 24 spot. 23 spot, Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I think they've had all contending tough games, and they smacked the Warriors. They just don't have, essentially, the great roster. They got an okay roster. Pretty much everybody from last year coming back aside from Russ for CP. So I think they'll be on the outside looking in on the playoffs with the 23 spot. 22, Cavaliers. Been playing hard, been playing gritty, grimy, and I do like their roster. It just doesn't look like an elitist roster. You got Clarkson, you got Love, you got Tristan, you got a rookie point guard who seems okay. You got old boy from last year, point guard with the flat top. I forgot the nigga name, but I like him. You got Cedi Osman. You got a group of guys who can play ball. So they land with the 22 spot. 21, Chicago Bulls. A lot of scoring. Young rookie Kobe White doing his thing. They just don't really play D and don't have an established big. And out the gate, they've been scoring, but they ain't been stopping nobody. 21 Bulls. 20 Pelicans. Young, great talent. I like those guys. Lonzo Ball changed his form. Brandon Ingram playing out of his mind. Okafor doing this thing. They have a young, nice talent. They just had a tough-ass schedule out the gate, but they play hard. They're talented. I look for them to climb the power rankings in the further weeks. So 20 Pelicans, 19 Brooklyn. And Brooklyn, they have the names, but they don't have the chemistry and the camaraderie yet. Kyrie's been playing out of his mind, but as a nucleus, they're not there yet. A lot of it's watching Kyrie do his thing right now. No KD. So I expect them to possibly climb, but I expect them to be on the barely on the inside of the playoffs. So I expect them to climb, but not too much. 19 Brooklyn. 18 Pistons. They're missing a star too, Blake Griffin. But they found a star in Derrick Rose, averaging 25 per, killing the league off. Drummond doing his thing, Luke Kennard doing his thing. I find him at 18 because they're missing him and it shows, but I think they'll climb and be better in the later weeks. 17, Phoenix Suns, a shocker and a surprise. They got rookies playing well, Devin Booker's playing well, Aiden played well till he had the substance abuse, and they whacked the Clippers out. So Phoenix has been my surprise team, playing very good. Rubio as well. Looking forward to see how they do, whether they climb or go down. 16 Orlando Magic. Same team as we seen. So they're going to be a tough out, but essentially you'll see them out in the first round. A good team, maybe make the playoffs, but maybe out in the first round. Miami Heat, same team with Jimmy Butler. So this team, another gritty, grimy team that you're going to see in the playoffs and give somebody some type of problems. But at the end of the day, talent often exceeds that gritty, average team. So Miami has the 15th spot. 14 Houston Rockets. Now I expect them to climb, but out the gate the chemistry has been boo-boo. Westbrook and Capella have been the only ballers on this team so far. James Harden has been playing atrocious in my opinion. Forceful, jacking up the same shots he's been jacking for the last few years, but people have caught on. Wesley Matthews locked him up a couple days ago. So 14, you got the Rockets. 13 Spurs. They're playing good ball. They got a nice team surrounded by Aldridge and DeRozan. But my thing with them, why they're not higher, they had an easy-ass schedule so far. So 13 Spurs, 12. Another surprise, Atlanta Hawks. And why? For one reason and one reason only. Trae Young is dominating right now. Trae Young is playing like the old chef. Shooting from 45 feet, averaging 35, 40 points possibly, 9, 10 assists. His pick and roll game has been immaculate, as you hear the play. But Trae Young is the reason they get the 12th spot. 11, Toronto Raptors. Now, opening night, they didn't look too well, but they still have a nice squad. Emphasis with Pascal and Van Fleet. You could tell they've been told to take a heightened role, so they've been doing their thing. And I think they're going to be a mid-tier team, playoff team, but you need a star. You needed that Kawhi to win that ring, and y'all know it. So Toronto's 11. 10, Boston. And I think Boston could climb. They don't have the continuity yet, but I think they got a nice nucleus in Kemba, Tatum, Gordon. They don't have the bigs that they have losing Horford, so they might have to supplement the loss somehow. But I like that team going forward still if they get the grit and the continuity. So they got the 10th spot. 9, Portland. Portland pulled a crazy one out last night versus the Mavericks. They've been playing consistent. They're pretty much the same team with Whiteside. So they're going to be consistently there. I just don't see them taking it to another notch to be championship contenders. So I have them at 9. 8, I got the Bucks. Again, another same team syndrome. Same philosophy syndrome. Giannis heavy. Giannis doing his thing, balling out. But at the same time, I need you to take it to another level. Even though the league has went down a level, it's dispersed, no super teams, but I just don't see the Bucks being that top 2, top 3 team with that same strategy. But the Bucks have 8. 7, the Timberwolves, another surprise, been playing excellent. Acquired Jake Layman, who's a small forward who you probably don't know, but a good shooter, great defender, great rebounder, tough, gritty player that the Wolves need. Towns been stepping his shit up. Teague ain't been terrible, and even Wiggins been doing his thing. So the Wolves another surprise at 7. 6, you got Utah Jazz. Defensive-oriented team. Haven't gave up 110 yet, and they've added Conley, which is easy for them to navigate around. He's not something to plug in and be a liability. So I've loved the Jazz. That's why they're at 6. 5, or no, I'm sorry. 7 is the Mavs, Mavs duo has been looking excellent, and their young bench has looked great. Their defense hasn't been there, so they've just been scoring, shooting it out. 7 is the Mavs, 6 is still the Jazz, and 5 is the Wolves, like I said. I remember I swapped them. 5 is the Wolves for those reasons with Towns, Wiggins, and their depth. They've been balling out. 4, Nuggets. Same team, but I got to give them the credit because they had a tough schedule already, and they beat everybody in front of them. Joker been doing his thing, and they look to be a contending team, one of the 5 maybe contending teams. So 4, you got the Nuggets. 3, I got the Lakers. Though they came out shaky week 1 or game 1, they look solid on defense all 3 games. Anthony Davis has looked good. The shooters surrounding him has looked good. LeBron James has been back to form since the first game. So they're going to be all right. They hold the 3 spot. Number 2, 76ers. They got bigger. They got tougher. And Tobias Harris has stepped his game up. So they look good on all fronts. Offensively, defensively, they work the ball. I like this Sixers team, and they're my early favorite for the finals. As is my number 1 team, the LA Clippers. The LA Clippers got whacked by the Suns. They got blitzed. I saw that game. Credit to the Suns, but I think the Clippers overall, they have the depth, they have the tenacity, they have the 3-point shooting, they have the defense, they have the superstar talent, and all of this is without Paul George. So they're my number 1 team, and right now, I will find it tough to put anybody other than the Sixers at that 1 slot over the Clippers. So there you have it in 12 minutes. The power rankings in a visual. I will put all of it in the video so you can see the 30-1 power rankings. My MVP watch will be in there as well. Who is it? I have Greek Freak still killing. Trae Young MVP watch right now. Luka MVP watch